Hi everyone, it's Ed from Runnable. Yeah, I'm going to be doing the Oak Hill Parkrun this morning. It's 2 weeks before Berlin, so I'm not going to really push myself. That said, I'm going to test out there you go, Hoka Cielo X1. One of the reasons I'm going to test these out is they're nice and comfortable on my feet, fairly stable. So hopefully I won't injure myself, and I like running in them, to be honest. But I haven't really done loads of tests over 5k. I've done 10k's and a few other distances, half marathon distance in this and a marathon, but not really 5k. So it'd be nice to see how they feel, although I won't be going at full pelt, but I will put a video out just to let you know how they performed at the quicker race pace, and we'll go from there. Right, I'll see you later. Bye bye. So I'm off to the Oak Hill Parkrun in the Cielo X1s today. As usual, I'm running late. I don't know how I've managed to get late. I don't know if you guys have the same, when you get up with plenty of time and somehow you dither and mess around because you've got all this time and you end up later than you would have been had you got up later. That's how it's worked for me this morning. Beautiful morning. As I said earlier, I'm not going to push it today. I basically just want to enjoy the run. I've got Berlin in a couple of weeks. It's beautiful. Look at this. It's beautiful this morning. Perfect running conditions. So I don't want to do anything stupid. Just enjoy the run basically, and give you an idea of how this Cielo performs. So basically, if I get a half decent time today, because I'm not even going to push it that hard, it will show that these shoes have done their job and they're a good shoe. The reason I picked these shoes is I just need something to protect my feet. My toes are still a bit battered from the 20 miler I did. Achilles have been hurting a little bit. I'm always moaning, so get used to that. That's what the life of a runner is, to moan about injuries and not feeling 100% when you never can be 100%. But so be it. And just get it done today, enjoy the run, and yeah, see where we go from there. Coming towards the start line now. You see the runners all gathering. I'm going to do a little bit of a stretch just before I start. But yeah, it's a lovely day. Look at this, fantastic blue skies everywhere, perfect for running. End of the park run, sprinting for home. They've run really well. First place at the moment. Let's go. So, Cielo X1, you beauties. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Three, Trent, bye! So, just finished the Oak Hill Parkrun in North London, near where I live, near Barnet. Absolutely delighted actually with how I ran today. It really came together. I'm not sure where that came from actually, because you know, my Achilles has been playing up. Sorry, I'm moaning again, by the way. Spoiler alert. It's been playing up since last weekend when I did the 20-mile run in Bedfordshire, and I really didn't think I was up for it today. And with Berlin 2 weeks ago, I kind of promised myself I wouldn't do anything stupid, and then I went and did something stupid, which was to win the Oak Hill Parkrun, which is only the second time I've ever won Parkrun actually, and it's the second time I've won that one, but in general, it's the second time I've ever won a park run. So it's not a regular occurrence for me. And there were some good runners there today, so it wasn't like an easy run for me. I mean, I ran, I think the official time is 17:32. So obviously, you know, often when that park run is on, people run it in 16s, and I can't compete with that. But today I was able to, you know, catch the lead guy at the end and go through, and I managed to get some race footage of the end actually, which was good. And the Cielos, my God, they performed today. I mean, I didn't actually, a bit like with when I ran with the Prime Extreme 2, I wasn't sure about them over 5k. I am now. And they've given me a real dilemma for the Berlin Marathon, because, you know, if they can do that at 5k, you know, at the end, they were really responsive and they were really pushing me forward. It's the rocker and the foam, obviously. And they can do that at 5k over a marathon, being how comfortable they are. You know, I've run, it's not like I haven't run the marathon before in them. I have, London, but I was kind of injured and only had 5 weeks training, so it wasn't a real good test for them. And you know, what I learned from that race was, you know, they kept my legs pretty reasonable. They bottomed out a little bit towards the end. But I'm now wondering why, whether, you know, Berlin, I should give them another go. It's really difficult, because I do like the Saucony Endorphin Elites as well. But anyway, going back to the park run, I've got some footage of the end. But really good. They were really good today. And, you know, I'd say for anyone looking for a reasonably fast but fun and responsive and cushioned shoe, you can't really go wrong with it. I mean, there's so many negative comments about lacing and the upper being hot and the weight. It's ridiculous. I mean, honestly, ridiculous. I mean, there's a guy, and I don't like calling people out, but there's a guy called the Ginger Runner or something, who claimed that they were meh. I mean, like, literally, he sounds like a good bloke, by the way, but they're not meh. They're anything but meh. They're the opposite of meh, whatever the opposite of meh is, unmeh. And I would recommend them to anybody. You don't even feel the weight. You do not have to be a quick runner to get the most out of this shoe. What you do have to do is get used to it, and maybe that's where that guy didn't get used to it. You know, you have to get used to it because it's got a funny feel to walk in. It's got a bit of a bump, sort of mid-foot area. But once you get used to it, my God, it's an amazing shoe, and it's a good shoe for everyone, because it has some, sorry about the noise, it has some stability elements to it, like the wing plate, and you know, it keeps the foot nice and locked in going forward. So I think it's a great shoe, and honestly, I would describe it as the opposite of meh. It's just a shame that review is #1 on YouTube for Cielo X1, because really it's putting people off the shoe when it shouldn't. But anyway, that's regardless of that. I'm on a bit of a high after the run. Really enjoyed it. Caught up with some mates of mine at the end. It's really nice. Parkrun's all about that. It's not about times and winning. It's about the people, the community. I treat it as a race. I know I shouldn't call it a race. It's a run. But because of my marathon training, it's good for me to push myself. But yeah, all in all, it's a great park run to do at Oak Hill. It's nice and flat, 3 circuits of a nice course. You get a day like this, it's beautiful. It's not the quickest, but it's fair. The only downside to it is, you know, if you are a quicker runner, you have to negotiate back, you know, getting past people towards the end, and that can be tricky. But by and large, I think it's a really good park run, and it's got such a nice community feel to it and lots of friendly people. Anyway, I'll stop talking and show you the star of the show, which are obviously my best buddies, Cielo X1, who I am rapidly falling in love with, but don't tell my wife. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, this is Ed from Runnable, and this is my quick race or run review, because it was a park run, of the Cielo X1, the Hoka's new, not that new anymore I guess, racing shoe or super trainer, depending on the way you look at it. I ran a park run in North London, Oak Hill Park, and I want to give you a quick summary of how it went in the shoe. But before I do that, I just want to get out of the way that this is my own review. I bought this shoe with my own money. Nobody's had a chance to influence this review. It's entirely my own opinion. If you disagree with my opinions throughout the shoe review, please put them in the comments. The more comments I get, the better. I want to create some kind of community here so we can talk through any questions or specifics about the shoe. So please put them in the comments. If you like what you're about to hear, please then put the thumbs up, and also if you like my style in general and want to hear more from me, unbiased opinions on shoes and techniques in running and that type of thing, please subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I want to create a community here, and the best way you can do that is to subscribe and listen to what I've got to say. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but whether you agree with it or disagree with it, at least you know that the stuff I'm talking about is unbiased, and I'm not based in the pocket of any of the shoe manufacturers, which is really important, I think. Anyway, I digress. Let's very quickly go over some basic stats. If you want a real in-depth stats in this shoe, go to Doctors of Running or that kind of YouTube channel. I'm just going to go through the basics. I like to talk more about the feel of the shoe, but I know a lot of you think stats are important, so I'll briefly go through them. So you've got, in my UK size 9, we've got 39 millimeters in the heel, 32 millimeters in the forefoot, giving a 7 millimeter drop. It's pretty standard. What isn't standard is the weight. For a race, this is quite a heavy shoe. It's 260 odd grams in my UK size 9. If you compare that with the Asics Metasky Paris, which is under 200 grams, I mean, this is a heavy shoe. This is a heavy racing shoe. What I would say though, is when you run in this shoe, you don't really feel that weight. A bit like the Prime X Strung, I never really felt the weight of that shoe either. It's just the original, I mean. That's a similar sort of weight to this, 260 in UK size 9. So I wouldn't get so preoccupied with the weight. A lot of the other reviewers have done. I think it's more important to understand the feel of this shoe and how it feels on a run than actually how much it weighs, right? But I know for some of you, weight's an important issue. So I just want to highlight that. Okay. It has a carbon plate. It's a wing plate, which means that it obviously helps with propulsion, but also adds a bit of stability because the wings keep your foot cradled. It has if you can see here, it has a bit of a sidewall as well, which helps with stability. So all in all, they're the basic stats. In terms of the parts of the shoe, we'll go through the upper. It's kind of a cord-like material. I don't mind the upper. I think you've got a lot of room in the forefoot. I get a good lockdown. Laces don't bother me, by the way. I know a lot of people hate these laces. Don't bother me at all. Once you fiddle with them, you get a good. They don't move basically, but you need to double knot them, right? That is the basic requirement here. Double knot your laces, and they won't come undone. Tongue is stretchy, can bunch, but again, fiddle around with it at the start, and you'll be fine. Unless you're doing a triathlon where you have to get the thing on quickly. I don't see the problem with any of that. The main thing is an upper is comfortable and you don't really notice it on the run, and there's a big tick mark for the Cielo in that respect. Outsole, good rubber coverage. I've used this for over 100 miles now, and I'm only just starting to see wear on the lateral part of my foot where I land on the forefoot. So I think these are one of the more durable racing shoes, and and the weight and the how robust the shoe is part of that. Sometimes you can't have it all. If you reduce the weight, then sometimes it affects the durability. But The midsole is amazing. You can see with the geometry, first and foremost, of the shoe, you've got this intense rocker. And the midsole itself, as we discussed in the review, you know, you've got a large stack height, but you've got even more kind of stack height in the midfoot. So for midfoot strikers, you get a really nice little bump here that pushes you forward. But even for forefoot strikers like myself, because of this pronounced rocker, it rolls you forward. But the magic is in the foam, right? Hoka in this Piba foam are onto a winner here. This is an unbelievable foam, and it's so springy and it launches you forward, right? And some of you are probably thinking, maybe this is a bit too uncontrollable for me. And to be honest, when you first put this on, it feels very weird. It's not a natural shoe like, say, the Diodora Gara or the Asics Meta Speed Sky Paris. They feel a bit more natural, lower drop, less of a rocker. In terms of racing shoes, that is. This one feels a little bit unnatural, more towards this kind of Wave Rebellion Pro kind of geometry, Pro 2, sorry. But once you get used to it, actually it's very effective. And as I said, it's got some stability elements to it. It's not a stability shoe. So you don't feel like you're rocking either side, like you do actually in this shoe. It's far more stable, this shoe, than this shoe, right? So I think they're the basics around the shoe. In terms of the run, so I've done that Parkrun, I think about 25 times. Only ever won it once before, a while ago. And today I actually won it in this yellow. And I was quite amazed actually how well this performed. So I've used this for 5Ks before, and I was never really sold. You know, maybe in my mind, I was thinking, I've listened to the other reviews and thinking maybe it's too heavy. Maybe it's not quite as zippy and as, you know, mobile as some of the other shoes. But actually, today changed my mind totally. I mean, it's made me realize this is good 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon shoe. And this is why I think this shoe is, of all the racing shoes, I think this is a sleeping giant of a shoe for racing, because it's so versatile. You can do all your racing in this shoe. That I ran the London Marathon in this shoe, and I was injured going into that marathon. It performed really well up until about 20 miles, and then I felt it bottomed out a bit, you know, because the foam is soft. And that might be the case, but actually, the more I think about it, it could well have been the fact I was injured, and you know, I was just feeling it more because of my injury. So I'm really now tempted to use this shoe for Berlin, which I've got in 2 weeks. Before today, I was definitely going with the Saucony Endorphin Elite, and this has messed up my mind a little bit. But going back to the 5K Parkrun, it allowed me to you know, bounce kind of freely through my stride. I took it easy for about the first couple of K, and then my legs felt so good in these. I just thought, right, go for it. And I managed to catch the leader on the last lap, probably in the last K, and this carried me through. I mean, it bounced me along, literally bounced me along. And I think that's what you get with this. If you can control the bounce, it's a real weapon. I think it's not just for fast runners. You know, I think if you're somebody who's looking at to do like a 4 hour marathon, I think there's still a viable shoe, just because of how comfortable it is. So for that length of time, it's going to be very comfortable. You just got to, when you use it, you've just got to get used to the geometry. And once you do that, it's an amazing shoe. And as I found today, over 5K, it's rapid as well. So all in all, I think I've heard other reviews describe this as meh, and the, you know, other reviews saying it's too heavy, other reviews saying that, you know, they're not sure about the, you know, the heel striking or the bounce, you know, it's uncontrollable. I would say once you get used to it, this is up there with the best running shoe, racing shoe, super trainer you can buy. And it's so versatile, and people don't really talk about how versatile this shoe is. It's really versatile. I've just explained why. So I think it's a really good purchase. And the final thoughts on the Parkrun, I met a lot of people, you know, friends there. This Parkruns are such a good thing. It was so nice to talk to people afterwards. You know, there's some pictures and stuff in the video of the race. So please watch the race footage as well. Managed to capture a little bit of my camera at the end as I was finishing. But it was so nice to catch up. And that's the other thing, shoes aside, running should be a social thing, right? It's about enjoying yourself, having fun, meeting people, talking to different people, meeting new people, and, you know, chatting about shoes or whatever, running, how long you've been running, whatever. Could be totally unconnected to running. But so for me, if you've got a local park run, easy to get to, just get down there and do it. It's such a good event, and I've really enjoyed today. I'm on a bit of a high after today. With the marathon 2 weeks away, I've just run a PB for that course, and you know, my fastest time ever in this shoe, and I just feel like everything's coming together. And so Berlin, bring it on, baby, and it could be in this shoe. Who knows? I'll let you know closer to the day. But it's given me something to think about. But so thank you so much for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you're hearing. I know these aren't always the most polished videos. I want these to be more like a daily vlog, a bit more real and less studio like. That's just the style I want. I will never, you know, I'll always pay for my own shoes, right? If I start getting sent shoes, I'll probably stop reviewing them, to be honest. I want people to realise that when I review a shoe, it's real, right? And that's important, because there's so much out there that you're not sure about. There's some really good people, don't get me wrong, but there's some where you just think, have you even run in that shoe? But anyway, rant over. Thank you very much for watching, and basically I'll see you soon. But please subscribe if you like what you're hearing. Bye bye.